All right, friends, my Voxer bestie and fellow senior photographer Kelly and I are here to chat about all things senior sessions. Since this is our first episode, I thought we would introduce ourselves in case someone on here has never heard of us. So, Kelly, why don't you go first?
Okay. I am Kelly Llewellyn. My business is Kelly Rochelle Photography. I am based in Williston, North Dakota, and I live here with my husband, Wyatt. We've been married 20 years. I have 7 kids. I have 2 girls that are bookends, and we have 5 boys in between, and they range from 19 down to 6 years old. I have been in business for, this will be going on 8 years. And before this was my job, I was a hospital pharmacist. And before that, I was in the National Guards. Um, what am I missing, Sarah?
You love to
Anything?
travel.
Oh, I love to travel. Yes, travel is my love language. Like I travel as often as I can, and I've turned that into part of my business so I can travel even more. And yeah, and Diet Coke is my other love language. So those two go hand in hand in my world.
I love that. I love that. So I am Sarah Munson with Sarah Munson Photography. I'm based in Benton, Wisconsin, and this is my 14th year in the photography industry and my third year going full time. I was in the corporate world for 21 years. I am a graphic designer by trade, and I have a background in marketing as well. I capture seniors. I do some real estate for a local realtor. And I used to do families and weddings, and I'm getting out of those, but I do also now capture school sports photos. I am a mom to 2 girls. My husband and I will be married 23 years this weekend. And I love to fish, absolutely love fishing. And if I'm not behind the computer, I'm out in the garden, tending to my flowers or the weeds, whatever comes first, which is typically the weeds. So I'm usually in my garden. So let's talk about how we met
Yes. We,
because it
yeah.
was, it was, I mean, I found my way to Sabrina Gephardt is how we met, is through her roundtable. But I was with a business coach who had a copywriter, Sarah Gillis, and Sarah Gillis was doing business coaching, I think, with Sabrina. And
Yeah.
that's how I learned of Sabrina. And then I found her roundtable, which is absolutely awesome for photographers. It is a phenomenal community. She provides a ton of great education and support for her photographers. Um, how long were you with Sabrina?
Since she started, when she started doing education, I've did everything she's put out there.
Yeah.
Literally.
And I want to say isn't there like 60 some community members in her roundtable?
That sounds right. That
Yeah,
sounds right.
I love it.
I wonder
It's
how many people have did Root to Rise now.
Oh, I don't know. Is this her third season, third or fourth round going into the Root to Rise?
Sounds right.
Yeah, and Kelly and I did the Root to Rise this last spring, and Kelly's actually done all of
Every
Sabrina's her retreats. Um, it's a great mastermind program for photographers, so if you are interested, check it out. So I found my way to Sabrina's roundtable last August or September, and I sent out a post because a good share of Sabrina's photographers are family photographers. So I was looking for some senior photographers. So I put a post out there asking if there was any senior photographers in the group, and Kelly responded, and so did Sarah. So we started Voxing. And if you don't know what Voxer is, go out and get the app because it's absolutely awesome. Because I actually went out then and paid for the subscription so that I can go back and listen to all of our messages because you and I have been back and forth on
yes.
Voxer a lot. Um, so that is how we met. And it has just been absolutely amazing since you and I have, at the beginning, we probably talked what, weekly?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, we talked weekly, and then from there it just kind of grew to every day. And then we did the
Yeah.
mastermind together. Yep. We did mastermind this last spring with Sabrina. And then we ended up at Reset conference together.
Yes. That's the first time we met actually in person.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So we went, what, 6 or 7 months, 8 months
Yeah.
without seeing each other than on Zoom calls, and then finally we got to meet up, at Reset conference. And if you haven't ever been to Reset, it's an amazing conference. It was in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and it was just the best. So much good information, a lot of great presenters, and, we're actually going to the next Reset conference.
Panama City, right? Isn't that what Florida?
Yeah, I cannot wait. It's gonna be awesome. On the beach,
Yeah.
sand in our toes. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Can't wait. Next March. So if you're looking for a good conference to attend, highly recommend the Reset conference next March.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to add about how we met?
I do want to add because when you posted that, like, is there any senior photographers? I just assumed you were starting out. Like, I've got questions and whatever. And then we start talking, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, there's nothing she doesn't know yet. So I'm not sure why she needed to reach out to anybody. Yeah.
I just like to connect with other senior photographers
Yeah.
because I think that is probably one thing that I've learned in the last year or two is that community over competition. And I can
100%.
tell you that prior to all of this, I was 100%, oh my God, don't tell the competition what I'm doing. And then I find this community of photographers and I'm like, holy crap, like these people are here to support me. And you and I have just, I mean, the
Yeah,
things that we talk about on Voxer, it has been phenomenal. And I feel like we've grown together.
for
Um,
sure.
we're bouncing things off of each other. Like if you're going to a session or I'm going to the session and I'm like, God help, like, how do I handle this lighting situation? Or how do I use my flash in this situation? You know, we've got each other and I absolutely love community over competition any day. Um, but
For
yeah,
sure. And it's such a lonely job to, you just, you're editing alone, it's everything alone. So it makes a huge difference to have your business besties and just like you said, to bounce anything off of or Voxer and be like, Sarah, this would be perfect for you. You make this reel today. Like Sarah knows.
yes. Yes, you and I do that all the time. She'll send me a reel and she's like, dude, you need to do this. Hint, hint, put this reel together. No, I love that. Um, we've definitely covered a lot of ground in the last, it hasn't quite been a year, but we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we have.
Um, so I want to just dive into today's topic because you and I have talked on and off through Voxer. We've done some Zoom calls together. We were wanting to talk today about client experience. Because we feel that client experience is huge. Thank you, Ollie. Thank you for that introduction.
Kellie.
Thank you, Ollie. My dog who's barking because who knows, FedEx guy's probably here. But let's talk a little bit about client experience and what it is, what client experience means to you, what it means to me. I have a feeling it's going to be the same thing, but there are photographers out there that may not be offering client experience or don't know where to start or what to even do. So let's chat a little about what it is. So what does client experience mean to you in your photography business?
It is, well, it's a reflection of our business, first of all, right? Like of
Yes.
who we are as photographers. But you and I are just a tiny bit different on how we present it. Like you do more phone calls, I do more, you know, sending emails, and I have proposals and whatnot. I don't have a lot of people that want to talk to me. I don't know what that's about, but I do send out a video with the email going through the whole process. And so maybe that's enough for them. But I think we put a lot of value in, like you said to earlier, we were talking before this, our websites, our blog posts. There's so much information just on that before they talk to us that I feel like they kind of get a feel for us. Like, what is our photography like? What do we like as people? Like, what do we value? And, then from there, we take the next step with them. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with you 100%. It's more than just showing up to take the picture. Like you are
Yeah.
generally wanting to get to know these kids and these parents to build that connection and that relationship. Because when you build that connection, like I love walking down the street and seeing my seniors and being able to say hi and them
Yeah.
to respond back and say hi back because I feel like kids these days are on their phones all the time. So just to connect with them genuinely, one-on-one is huge. And not only that, that's like kind of free marketing. for
Right.
referrals and all of the, like, I can't tell you how many people came to me saying, oh, you took so-and-so's pictures and they just absolutely loved working with you. But I agree that it starts with the website. That's the very first touch point. And then from there, I do a discovery call is what I call it. It's just a 15-minute call where I have the senior and the mom or the dad or whoever wants to get on the call with them. And we just chat about all the expectations, what to expect, how the process is. And I ask my seniors to put together kind of a mood board. Because I like to have my seniors have a lot of input as to what we do, as far as location, what they think they want to wear, props. We talk a lot about props because a lot of my seniors want to make their session unique. So we talk a lot about, what are your favorite things? Is there trucks? Is there cars? Are there horses, dogs? Do you have any animals? So we talk a lot about that on the discovery call. And then we go through, what the contract is, invoicing and all that stuff. And then once they're booked, then it's just a series of emails. And in those emails, it's, outfit ideas, and there's payment schedules and stuff like that. And then I do ask, and I don't know, do you ask your seniors what they're going to wear for their session?
I do. I asked them to send me pictures before the session, just so you can think of, like, if you're going downtown, like yellow might look better with a certain building versus, so that makes a huge difference in the result of their pictures. So it's better to know that. Or you might want to be wearing jeans somewhere that you don't want a short dress with. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why we choose what we choose. Or you see a super cute dress and I'm like, oh my gosh, we have a hat that would complement that perfectly. I'm just going to bring it with and see if she'll wear it. Stuff like
Yes.
that.
Yes. You and I are on the same page there
Yeah.
because I don't know how many times I've had seniors and I don't, they can send me a picture on their cell phone, they can even, whatever it is. But they send me pictures and I know exactly where we're going. And I'm like, ooh, that color is not gonna look good against that building. And it might be a stark white t-shirt and we're gonna be in like an old nostalgia vintage like millwork district type. And I'm
Right.
like, ooh, can you make, instead of wearing that white, can we just wear like an oatmeal or a light beige color? Just that little tweak in that color. So I like to see my outfits too. So I think you and I are both on the same page there. Do you send out a senior questionnaire?
I do. I'm going to back up one more thing about the outfits before I forget to say it, but I always tell them to save their favorite outfit to be their third or fourth outfit. Do you do that too? So that they're comfortable with you and you make sure that those are usually the best pictures is once they've got
Yes.
used to you and how the flow is going to go. And that also depicts then where we pick for our locations, right? And
Right.
so that was just one
Right.
more thing. That's one little tip that I think is huge that people should know. What was our question now? The second question you just asked?
Questionnaire, senior
Oh,
questionnaire.
yes, I do. I love that. And then I use it for my senior Sunday. It's a bunch of like random things, but you really get to know them. And I think they feel like you care. And even this year for like their graduation gift, whatever they put for their favorite snack, I put that in there too because, just
Oh, I
something to
love that.
make it just a little bit more. Yeah. And
I
they don't
love
all
that.
fill it out. Some don't fill it out at all. And that's kind of a bummer. But I mean, I would say half or a little bit more do typically. And I know you do one too, don't you, Sarah?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And I do very similar. I feel like sometimes some of the questions I ask on there are icebreakers for
Mhm.
conversation when I get, for the first time in person with the senior. And like a lot of my seniors show up very nervous.
Yeah.
And one of the questions I'll ask them is, are you nervous? And they're like, well, yeah, I've never done this before. So then it's just kind of like helps break the ice. If you know that they've got a dog named Maggie, or we've got
Yes.
5 horses, or whatever it is, we start talking about horses, something they're comfortable with that they connect with. And that questionnaire helps me connect with them even more so that we can
Mhm.
break the ice. Then they start to feel a little bit relaxed with me, feel a little bit more comfortable. So then, maybe the first 10 minutes, they're nervous, but within 10 minutes, they're feeling very comfortable. We've connected. And so, yeah, we both do send out the questionnaire, which has been very helpful. And I'm sure it's helpful too, because I find it helpful in writing my blog post.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
just
To
some
personalize
points.
it to them even more. Yes.
Yes, yes, things that you can include in their blog post, which is, I love that. More personable.
Yeah.
Um, let's see, I want to make sure we cover our questions because we had questions that we were going to talk about. So let me
Yeah.
just double check to make sure. Um, what do you do to ensure that your clients feel prepared and confident before their session?
Well, I send out like you and I both do. We have a workflow where we send out a lot of emails, and within those emails, there'll be, a link to a blog post where it's like senior guide information, and there's like a whole PDF on hair and clothing, and just to reiterate like what we've already told them, but again, they can see it again. Um, I
Do
think
you have a
there's like
welcome guide? Do you have a welcome
I
guide,
do.
like a senior
I have
welcome guide?
I do. Yeah. I
Yeah,
have that, and I'm sure you do this too, but I end every email, please, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. No question is too stupid because, you know, you know how that is. You feel like, oh, I
yes,
should probably know this, but I really don't know this, and I don't dare ask because I don't want to feel stupid. But just
right,
leaving that an open line of communication with them and following up with their parents too. I like to do that. I feel like I talk to the parents more than them anyways, and they kind of know, like, you know, he's really not into this. He's doing it for me. I mean, you kind of need to know that stuff, like.
right, right.
Right? Yeah.
No, I'm the same way. I've got a welcome guide that I send to my parents and to the kids. I do give my cell phone number out to the kids and to mom. Mom is who I communicate a lot with, but I do give it to like my girls. They're always looking for outfits, and they love
Right.
texting me. And I always tell them, hey, if you're out shopping and you're at TJ Maxx or wherever you're at, and you're looking at outfits, don't be afraid to send me a picture of an outfit and say, hey, does this look good? Because I mean, yes, I will respond. Um, that's just one thing I
Right.
love helping my kids with. But yeah, that is something I do too, is a welcome guide. And in that welcome guide, I'm covering, what to wear, what not to wear, colors to avoid, what colors look good. I talk a lot
The
about
shop at,
shoes. Yeah,
right?
where to shop. Yep, local boutiques. And I talk a lot about shoes because I don't know about you. I like to shoot out in the country, which pretty sure you do too.
Yes. Yep.
Um, and I want to make sure that if we're out stomping through a pasture, that they don't have high heels on and we can't
Great.
do some of the movements that we want to do with them and, twisting ankles and stuff like that. So I talk a lot about shoes. Um, and then, yeah, we just talk about what to expect and more FAQ in that guide.
I tell them a lot of times I always tell them bring a pair of Birkenstocks or flip-flops because a lot of times we end up by the water. And the last thing you want to do is have them put their muddy feet back into a fancy pair of shoes or shoes that have socks and you need to tie them, like, or that they walk barefoot back and they're like you said, stepping on stuff. And yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So just little tips that make it a little bit easier at their session. Yeah.
I had a mom once who I'm the same way. I take a towel, I have a wagon. My wagon is full of stuff. I got a towel in there for them to dry their feet off.
Okay,
And
we need a video of the wagon. I've not seen the wagons. See what I mean? This needs to come out. You need to show me what's in your wagon.
oh my gosh. So that happened. The wagon came this last season because I had my very first session last season and we're walking through the pasture and we were going to do an outfit change. So here we are walking. We looked like two pack mules walking through the pasture to this location. And I looked at my mom and she's dropping stuff and I'm dropping stuff and we're packing all this camera gear. And I looked at my senior and I go, I need one of those wagons, one of those big wagons with the big
Yes,
tires to pack all the stuff so that mom can put her clothes in there, the shoes in there. It's got pockets along the side. I can put my cell phone in there. We got bug spray. Like it's got everything. And I had a mom last year. She told me, she's like, you make this so easy. Like you anticipate everything that we're going to need during this session. And all we have to do is show up with the senior, the clothes, and like we just gonna show up for the pictures. And I'm like, that is what I want this to be. Because
and the
I
best
know,
compliment ever because that's what you're going
yes,
for. Yeah,
yes, because your mom, 7 kids, hello, you know exactly what it's like to
yeah,
and how frazzled you are at the end of the day. You came home from work and now you got this senior session and do you have the clothes iron? Do you have like all that stuff?
great.
Um, that you just want to, I just want to make it easy for the parents and for the kid to show up and just, all you have to do is sit there and smile and pose and just have a good time. Um, yes, I love that. We are the same. We're the same there.
We are.
How do you make your senior comfortable during your session? Like, is there
Well,
anything?
music 100% over and over music because we enjoy listening to it. They enjoy listening to it. You'll see them kind of, some girls dancing to it or singing to it. It lightens the mood 1,000 times, I feel like,
Yeah.
and then I start with movement always. I know a lot of photographers don't, but I always start with walking and some type of movement just so it loosens them up and they're not just like right into posing. That just works well for me. I mean, what about you? What do you do?
I use music too. Sometimes I find myself tapping my own toes and dancing along, like, I'll be like, all
Yeah.
right, let's get in the
Yeah.
groove. And I'm dancing, and they're dancing, and we're laughing and we're giggling. And how do you know what music do they like? Do you put that in your senior
The questionnaire.
questionnaire?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. I
perfect.
say,
So do I.
tell me your top 3 songs. And then from there, I'm like, okay, it's country or it's pop or it's whatever it is. I know from that. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have probably a little Bluetooth speaker that you use.
I do. It's like a JBL and it clips onto my
Yeah.
harness. Yep. Just snap. There it goes. Is
Yep. Yep.
that
So do
what you
I.
do? Yeah.
Yep. Same here. Um, yes, I like to use music. Um, And then I don't start out with movement. I'm just the opposite. I'll start out with those simple poses and I talk to them. So, like the other night, I had a senior session and she was really nervous and I could tell. And I told her, I said, it'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. She's like, well, I don't know how to pose. And I'm like, I'll guide you through it.
Right.
So I get her sitting down and I kind of guide her through the posing and I like to hype like
Same. Same.
like, I look like an idiot sometimes, like, "Oh
Words
my
of
god, this is so
affirmation are
cool."
all over the place. Like, yes.
I'm
I
like,
think perfect and beautiful 1,000 times. Oh
"Oh
my
my
gosh,
god."
like you look beautiful. Like, yeah.
Yes, same here. Like, "Oh my god, these are so awesome. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's," and sometimes I'll throw out, "Oh my god, this," and it truly is. I'm like, "Oh my god, that is my favorite." And that's
Same.
when I love to turn the camera and go, "Look
No,
at this." Yes. Showing them that shot and they go, "Oh my god, that's beautiful." Yes. Okay, you've just
I've
boosted their
got you. I've
confidence.
got you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got you. Your confidence just grew by 120%. And I love that. And then sometimes I show mom, I'm like, oh mom, look at this. Like the other night I showed mom and she's like, oh my God, I've never seen my daughter in that, in that setting. And she's like, and she almost started crying. I'm like, don't cry because it's not edited yet. Like we're not
Yeah.
done. Yes, no, I love that. I love to hype. I love to tell them, like you said, if I had $1 for every time I said, oh my God, this is beautiful or this is perfect, I'd be rich. Yeah. So let's talk feedback because you've had the session, you've delivered your gallery. How do you handle feedback from your clients on the final images?
I send out an email asking for like a Google review. Is that what you're talking about? Stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Just because for one, we want to know, were they happy? And specifically, what were they happy about? What was the best? Because we learn and grow from that, right? Or
hmm,
continue doing it because we know that that works. And then you and I have talked about it this year. We're going to offer some type of gift for doing that just because
yeah,
everybody's busy. We know that. And them to take the time out of their day to do that means a lot to us. So
absolutely,
that's what I
absolutely.
do. Or sometimes I'll text them and be like, hey, what did you think of the images? Um, just to start that line of communication because I do want to know if they don't like something, right? Like,
Right. Yes, I do too. And I want to know which one are their favorite images.
yeah,
Like, I truly want to know because I want to make sure that I've captured what they wanted. We had that discovery call. They told me what they wanted. I want to make sure I capture that for them. And sometimes I find that the images that they pick are not my favorite.
same. Or the mom, like all three of us have 3 different groups of images. And it's like, well, you had a good session because you've got like 15 images right there that are like stars to each of you. And so, you've got a good gallery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And I love to know, I do ask during my feedback, what part of the experience do they love the most? And it's typically these, and I'm starting to learn the theme of is that they love that I make them feel comfortable and confident.
Yes.
So I know that is one of my strong points is
Mhm.
that they feel comfortable and confident with me. So that is something that when I'm on social, I want to make sure my
Right.
seniors and my parents know is that I gotcha. Like
Right.
there's, so I'm sure it's the same for you too.
It is, yes. And for both you and I, that's a priority of our services, is making them feel like they are the superstar of the show, because we feel like they are. And so they should feel like that, right?
Right,
I think that's a
absolutely.
huge part of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Um,
that.
I always send a gift too at the end. I change it every year. I think you do the same thing. And I think that means a lot too. I mean, just a note and a gift, like, this is what I loved about your session. Thank you so much for choosing me, because I mean, it's business, but we take it personally. How do you not? Like, art is personal, right?
Right.
And so I don't know. I think like touches like that just bring up your customer service a notch more, right?
Yes,
I don't know.
I do. I
Yeah.
truly feel the same way. It just makes you build that connection even more
Mhm.
by offering a gift or offering something at the end of that session that they truly enjoy. I do t-shirts for my seniors,
Oh
and
yeah, I love that.
it is so fun. Like the other day I was, scrolling through Facebook, and I had noticed one of the moms, it was graduation week, and she posted the final picture of my senior, and she had on my senior 2024 t-shirt that I
No
gave her.
way.
And I'm like, this is awesome. Like,
Yes.
I use that t-shirt as a gift, and I always give them a senior 20, whatever year it is. I always design something and I give them a t-shirt. It's got my logo on it. And it is their first true senior
Right.
shirt that
Yeah.
identifies them as a senior. And I love doing that. And twofold, it then advertises for me.
Yeah, you need to put that on social media. I was just thinking you should share that image and be like, hey, seniors,
Yeah.
this is what you get when you come to me. Like,
Yeah. So they're
I think
my walking billboard for me. Yes.
yes, absolutely. For sure.
And I've always
Um,
wanted to get my seniors together, like last year. How many seniors did you shoot last year?
20 some. I think it was like 23. What about you?
That's awesome. I had 34 last year, which is a lot. Yes,
That's
it's a
a lot.
lot. Yep. Are you fully booked this year? How many do you have?
Um, I have more than last year. I would have to go back and look, but I feel like I want to say 28. But some of mine are 2 sessions, right? Like that's my highest package. So when I say that, it could have been more than that. I usually get, I'd say 5 or 6 that do that they want the 2 sessions. And so I'm shooting more than that. And I guess I didn't say at the beginning, as you used to do, I still do family branding. I do everything but weddings,
You
literally
do
everything
all the
but weddings.
things. Yes, you
Yeah.
do branding too. I do not do branding, but
And you should be doing branding because it's adult senior sessions. I mean, we've discussed
I
this,
know,
like, and you
I
would
know,
love it. I know you'd be the perfect photographer for that. Yeah.
I know. Okay, so the only thing we haven't talked about is your destination seniors. Talk a little bit
Oh,
about your
yes.
destination sessions.
Well, my love language is travel. Like it always has been. And I was like, when I started my photography business, I'm like, I've got to figure out a way to get that in there so that, when you leave your family, it's for work, right?
Right.
Um, so I started last year, and I think, well, in my daughter was a senior. And so my first like travel session was with her and 2 other friends. And we went to San Diego and we did the Glamis Sand Dunes and we did Joshua Tree. We did San Diego. We did La Jolla Beach in San Diego. I mean, it was like the epic trip. And that was the start of it, and kind of learning the logistics of it and how you do it with multiple girls, right? And it just, I guess from there, it just kept, tumbling into the next thing and into the next thing and into the next thing. And I'm still trying to figure it out. You know that. Um, I do have them pick one of the top 2 packages because, financially it's expensive to fly. Travel's expensive, right?
Yes.
And
Yep.
I find a ton of value in it because it's an experience you get. Usually it's the mom and the senior, but it's not only is it their pictures, it's like an experience together that they'll never forget. Like they're not going to forget they went to the sand dunes for their senior pictures, right? Like that'll never happen. And so it's even more than the pictures. It turns it into just a little bit something more. And that's pretty cool. I don't know. And if you didn't know them well before, by the end of the trip, you guys are like friends. I mean, like you're invested. They're invested in you. You're
Right.
invested in them. It's a pretty cool thing. I mean, and yeah, so this year I have a senior session every month. It's just about every single month. And we're going like next month on Monday, I go to Oregon. You know that, I guess. But um and it's super cool. It's an adventure, but at the same time, I'm going to places I've never been to. I don't
Right.
know what, expect? Is it gonna be a ton of people? Um, is it what time does the sun set when there's like huge mountains and you know what I mean? Like just logistics of it. A Voxer you in panic mode, like,
Yep.
oh my gosh, it's too bright right now.
Yep.
I guess, educate back to client experience, it's educating them to know, hey, we are taking this in a new dimension altogether. Like, not only are we doing pictures, not only are we traveling, like, there's like 20 different variables that could affect this. And we just need to go with it and go
Right,
with the flow. And as you know, just like your first senior session with the rain, like,
right,
you just kind of have to ride the ride and see what happens. And sometimes
right,
it's amazing, and other times you're like, oh, that was not ideal, but we did it. And yeah,
right,
our
right,
expectations are different than theirs typically anyways. We put ourselves with such high expectations, and they don't really have any other than they want some great pictures, right?
right,
And so I think way more critical of ourselves than they are. I mean, we deliver great pictures regardless of what happens in between that, right?
right, right.
Yeah.
I love
But
that. I love
yeah,
your destination photos. And you and I have talked about that. That's got to be like high anxiety. Like I would have anxiety. I would have anxiety because I'm a planner. I've got
yeah,
everything planned out. And I don't know about you when you're doing your senior sessions. How much is it? How much do you have planned out? Like, obviously you know your
everything.
locations.
Everything.
Yeah.
Like you said, everything. The time we're going there, exactly where we're going,
Yep.
like if it's the right weather for specifically what we're doing, like the whole thing. Like how long to the minute it's going to take us to get there, and then how long to the minute is it going to take us to walk from our car to that. I mean, you and I know that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's just
Yes.
like in the wind, basically.
I don't think a lot of people just think, oh, you're a senior photographer and you just show up and take the pictures. Oh no, there is so much more to it than just showing up to take the pictures. And they'll be like, well, what do you mean there's so much more? There is a lot more. There's the communication, there's the booking, there's the proposals, there's the website, there's all the things. There's making sure you've got the plan for the night, making sure that you know exactly what it is that they need, getting their mood board, checking their clothing, and then showing up and making sure you got all your equipment and the equipment's ready. Um, so it is, and then after that, you've got all the editing and you've got
Right.
all the culling and delivering of the gallery. Now um, you have print credits that
Yes. Yeah.
your clients get when
Mhm.
they get their gallery. They've got print credits and they've got so many days to order prints. Um, do you give so many images with your packages?
I do. I have 4 packages, but the first one starts with 10, and well, the last one is the like 2 sessions, but goes anywhere from 10, 30 to all the digitals and then the 2 sessions. And then their print credits are different for each, tier of package they choose. And I mean, I guess we haven't discussed this, but you and I take a lot of time to offer high quality products to our clients that we would want, and
Mm-hmm.
we buy them to make sure their expectations meet ours so that we know that they'll meet theirs. I mean, we put a lot of thought into like every part of our experience. Like, you
Yes,
know,
we do. Yes. As a matter of fact, we just had a call, what, 2 weeks ago, where we went
yes,
through our stores to make sure, okay, what are you offering? Well, this is what I'm offering. How do
yes,
you have this priced? Or where are you getting this product from? And then and I know you are too, are just getting your products in. I
yep,
just ordered a bunch. And again, we're just making sure it is what it is and how, is it the quality that we would want? We want to make sure our customers are getting the same thing. So I love that. And now we're in the middle of putting together videos and highlight videos so that we can post them on our blogs and inform our clients and include that also in our experience.
right,
Um, links to these blogs or our highlight videos just so that our clients know what kind of product to get. Because I posted a story last night on one of my 5x5 print, the
yes,
fine
I love that
art
one.
prints.
Fine
And
art,
I
yep,
had I had a mom message me and she's like, "Ooh, I really like that product. Is that in your store?" I'm like, "Yep, it's in my store." So, they're the parents and them, they're watching these things. So just yes, another touch point for that client experience. I love that.
well, speaking of a client experience, what do you do? So your session is done. They're not going to get their gallery for maybe, I know you're a little bit quicker than me. When I'm busy, it's like up to 5 weeks that they don't see that gallery. So what do you do to buffer that time so that, they're not in question of like, did this turn out for me or what? What's your
Right. I offer sneak peeks, and I know you do too. I typically turn a sneak peek around within 12 to 24 hours.
Same. Yeah.
Are you same? Yeah.
Same.
Um, I, regardless, they get a sneak peek. And then I also will do a blog post. I know you do too. I think you call
Yeah.
yours, is
Yeah.
yours the Sunday seniors,
Yep. Yep.
senior Sundays?
Here's
Yeah.
the- Yeah. That's what I do.
And that's where your questionnaire comes into play.
Yes.
And you can use more information, some more connection points, touch points on your senior. Um, just to keep, yeah. And I love to create reels, stories. I'm posting all the time. If there's anything I need to create between now and my next session, I always use their images. I mean,
Right.
they love being the center of attention.
Oh, 100%. Yes. I've even found that like seniors that have chosen not, because we have our contracts and print releases that choose maybe initially not to be on social media, by the end of their session, they feel confident in their pictures enough where they're like, yeah, we want that sneak peek. Yeah, definitely post that. Do you find that too? Or do
Yeah.
you all
Yeah.
like opt in for that?
I
Okay.
haven't had anybody yet not ask me to put any
Okay.
on, but yeah, no, and they love it. And
Yeah.
their friends love it and they're reposting it and it's free marketing. It's
Yes.
helping you market to other seniors and it's helping you market to those other moms and moms are sharing them, grandmothers are sharing them. I mean, the other day I posted the senior session that I had 6 shares on that. So they love it. So that is
Right.
something that, like you said, in that lull between the time you take the session and the time you deliver, I'm doing the sneak peeks, we're doing the reels, we're doing all the social media. And I'm also sending emails at that time, highlighting all the print products. While
Same.
you're waiting, start thinking
Look
about
at
how you
this.
want to hang these. Yeah, how do you want to hang your prints? Or, these are the different types of products that I have that you can start looking at. So yeah, just to create more hype. Um, I love that. I'm glad we're doing the same thing.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
do one of the other things I do for my client experiences, and you probably do this too, Sarah, is I always send an email out that's like, Mom, you will get in these pictures unless you absolutely don't want to. So, dress accordingly. If you want your hair and makeup done because you wouldn't want a picture otherwise, do that accordingly. And on Mother's Day this year, I saw like, I'd say 6 of my girls, past or present, post that picture I took. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. That is the coolest thing to see. I've heard moms tell me that, um, well, one year I did them with the block and the fine art
Oh yeah.
prints,
Yep.
and I took it to
Yep.
college with them and put it on their desk because it was small enough to bring. And
Yep.
it was like a reminder of home. And, as a mom, you're always behind the camera. You're not usually in front of the camera. And that's just like one more thing we think of because we're the moms. We know
Right.
like what I want out of this. And then I usually send that as one of the gifts too, like, duplicate of the picture so mom
Yep.
and the daughter son get it. So is that
Yep.
something you do too?
Yep, I did that a couple times last year. I had a couple moms who are like, "Oh my God, I'm not dressed." I'm like, just
Yeah.
get in there. You look great.
Yeah.
Like, just get in the picture. And again, I saw those this May, those
Yeah.
couple pictures that I did take with mom in them. Yeah, they were there for Mother's Day. And that's cool to see. And that just gives them one more,
Mhm.
um, gives you one more touch point and
Yes.
gives them the opportunity to post with mom because
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
mom's super mom. Like you said,
And
they're always behind the camera.
mhm. Yeah.
All right. So is there anything else that we missed? I'm trying to
Hmm.
think that we missed on client experience.
Not off the top of my head. I think we've covered everything. Is there anything you're thinking that we missed or
No, I feel like we've covered it all.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Well, this has been awesome. I love
Yeah.
this. I always love when we get together and we can chat. Like, I'm surprised we didn't get off on some tangent
I was just gonna say
because
there wasn't a big squirrel moment because usually we like end up somewhere way
squirrel,
left
right?
field. Yes. And then we're like,
Squirrel.
what were we talking about to start?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh my God, I love that. You and I, we could chat all day about seniors.
Yes.
So, um, I guess,
You know what? I thought of something that you started doing that is genius. Well, I think you've always did this. Is your voice note when you're leaving your session while it's fresh in
oh,
your mind, so that it's very personal to them that, if you're writing it a month later or, and when you're busy season, it might even be further out than that. Like you're not going to remember what you remembered or how you felt after the session. And So your voice, explain that, explain your voice memo thing.
Yeah, so the reason I do voice notes is because I'm getting old, Kelly. And if it's not on a post-it note or written down somewhere or in a voice note, I can never remember. So
Yeah.
I started recording. So when I do my discovery calls, I record those too. So that I
Oh,
can
yeah.
listen to those back, like maybe I'm getting ready to prep for their session or getting ready to plan that evening, their session. I go back and I listen to it just to make sure that I'm covering everything that they wanted to cover. But then, yeah, I started when I leave the senior session, like the other night I left that senior session, I was in the car, I picked up my phone, I hit the voice memo, and I just started talking about everything that we had done, what had happened. There was a storm coming in. We scouted 3 or 4 locations. We landed on 2. I talked about the locations and what they look like, and then just the whole experience. And now I've got that to go back and write my blog post. I don't have to go back and go, oh, what night was that? I don't remember where we went. Like, because you
Great.
know what it's like.
Oh, yeah,
4 weeks
totally.
later, if you're going to write the blog, you're like, oh God, I forgot. You've had 5 sessions after that, and now all of
Right.
a sudden you forgot. So I like to, yes, leave voice memos.
And that's genius. It is absolutely genius. Okay, now speaking of, you just said we looked at 3 locations. I know that's something we both do is we scout our locations out beforehand a lot of the time. We go at a certain time of day to see what it would look like at that time of day. I mean, this is part of the client experience that they don't even know about that we're doing behind the scenes, like to make it seamless. I mean, my mom and I, which I didn't mention that when we did the intro, my mom shoots with me almost, I would say 90% of the time because she thoroughly enjoys it. And
Mhm.
well, just from our reset, it's so
Right,
much funner with somebody else.
right,
Um, but even like looking at a location and seeing like if there's steps, like how are we going to utilize these? Like what angles can we get, that is a huge part of it too. I mean, we don't think of it because it's so natural to us and that's just
right.
like our process, but I know you do the same thing.
Yeah,
Like,
I do.
yeah,
And is your photographer brain on 24/7? So if
always.
you're driving or you're
Yes.
not driving and you're driving past this location, you're like, I gotta go check that out. I pin it on my phone, like, okay, I gotta go check that out
Yes.
or something. And then your next free day, you're out checking out this location. Um, yeah,
I'll
I'm
take it a
I'm
step
continually.
further, Sarah. I'll take it a step further than that. And if it's like a beautiful night and I don't have a session, I'm like, this night was wasted. This was a wasted night. It was too nice out. You're probably fishing, but to me, I'm like, this could have been the perfect session night and it was wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are nights when I'm sitting in my yard and I'm going, oh, it'd been a beautiful night for a sunset
Yeah.
session. Like, yeah, no, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
There was something I was just gonna say. Can't remember
Mm,
what it was, but that
Location
was
scout.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
location. Oh, I know what it was. The Sunseeker app. I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
mention that. Oh
Yes.
my God. So have you been using it for quite some time?
I've had it on my phone forever. I've just used it for in the trip to Colorado for the first time, like where you take a picture of the mountain and it tells you what time
Yes.
it will be there. Like I was like, my mind was like, "Oh, yeah, yes,
I know. I heard about this app probably it's probably been 2 years now.
yeah,
And as a photographer, like I said, you're scouting the location and you're like, wonder where the sun's gonna be at this time of the day. I shoot 90 minutes prior to sunset. I knew you are in the evening as well. So where that location of the sun is pretty crucial. Um,
yes,
so the Sunseeker app is amazing. Like I don't know that they could add anything more to that app because they've already got it all covered.
yes.
It tells you exactly where the sun is at what time of the day, and it's an app on your phone. So you open the app up, and then you can take your phone and you can physically turn the camera on and you can see your actual location, and it's got the little arrows and the dots of what time of the day the sun is going to, I mean, it's amazing. And you can take a picture, you can save that for later. um
And you can send it to
and
your clients because that's what I did. I was like, I know you want to start at 5, but at 6 is we're gonna have that's when the light's gonna hit right. So
yeah,
look, this is what it's telling me. This is when we have to start at 6 for this reason. Yeah, for sure.
absolutely. And for you, I also used it once. We were traveling down to Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
Not Phoenix, we were going to Sedona, we were going to Bell Rock. Kylie wanted to do a session on Bell Rock, and she's like, well, what time of the day will the sun be, at a certain direction? So you can
Right.
go on the app and you can put in an actual location and it'll show you what direction the sun is all times of the day. Like, mind blown.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay. I've
like, you
not used
can
it like
be.
that. Now I'm going to have to do that. That is
Now
like
you
new.
have to use that.
Yes.
Yes, you have to go into the map
Yes.
feature. You can put in the actual destination and then it tells you, so you can see that if there's trees, maybe to the north, you'll know that at what time of the day those sun rays are coming in. You know exactly what
Yeah.
time of the day that sun's going to be filtered through those trees.
Okay. I'm
Mind
going to
blowing.
put this on my story in Oregon. I'm going to use somebody else's phone. I'm going to show it how it works. Yes. It's going to go out to the universe. You need to do the same thing. This is what we do. This is what we do. Like,
Yep, this
you need to do
is.
this, then I need to do this. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So if you do not have the Sunseeker app, go out and get the Sunseeker app. There's a little fee for it. I think it was very minimal.
Worth it. It's worth
Yeah,
it.
$9, $10, something like that. I use it all the damn time when I'm setting up and scheduling and booking my sessions. Um, I've gotten to the point now where I know what time the sun sets pretty much every day of the year. Kind of like a walking sun seeker right now.
Yeah.
But if you are booking that senior session in March and you don't know what the sun's going to do in August or in October, you can go in, you can put the date in there and it tells you exactly when the sunset is.
Yeah. That's
So
kind of,
I love that app.
yeah. Same.
All right. So what else? I mean, I feel like we've covered, well, I thought we covered it all before until we realized that we didn't.
That's the problem with us. We will keep going and going. And it's
I
been an
know.
hour. If we go too much more than an hour, I feel like people are going to be like, okay,
These
this
two
is
are
enough.
just babbling now.
We need to do this again and pick a new subject and
Yes.
go tangents and do our thing like we always do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe it's destination sessions because
Yes.
you're going to
Because we
have,
both did them. Well, and you've did them and I've did them. Hey, we missed each other, what, by a week when we both went to
we
Sedona?
did. Yes. And this was before
Before
we
we knew
even
each
knew
other?
each other. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And I was following you on Instagram and I was in Sedona, just taking Kylie's picture. And then all of a sudden, a week later, you had posted pictures of your senior down at Sedona.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my God, Kellie was just in Sedona. Not even, we missed each other by
That was
days.
so cool. And that we
Yeah.
picked the same location. I mean,
Yes.
you know, because I did some with the client, but then also Isabel, and you did some with your daughter. I mean, like, we're such on a same like wavelength for things.
We are.
It's look at our shirts today.
Right. I know. We didn't even plan this. We showed up like this together. See?
Yeah.
You and I are like sisters from another mother or something. I don't know.
We are. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just, and I don't even know how to close this out. I mean, I thought it was a great chat. Maybe we'll do this again. I don't know. I guess if somebody wants us to pick a topic, we can sit and
Yeah.
chat about a topic. I mean, or it's
Maybe we
maybe
need to send out-
destination. I don't know.
Yeah. Or send out a survey and be like, what do you want to hear from us? Like,
Right. Right.
yeah.
No. Well, this was a good chat. Thank you for being here. Maybe we'll do this again.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll do this again. I know we'll do this again.
Yeah. I think
All
so
right.
too.
Well, thanks for
Okay.
tuning in and we'll catch you in the next episode.